Warning. This is not a safe space. Leave your bullshit and feelings at the door.
Christmas is gone. It's time to ring in the new year, the man cave style. We're going to talk about the best articles of 2018.
It's time for the most raw and unfiltered experience on the internet. So kick your feet up and grab a cold one. You have just entered the man cave. And now, here they are, winners of the self-proclaimed International Greatest Men Alive Award, Brad and Terry.
Hey, thanks for joining us here in the Man Cave. I'm Brad.
And I am Terry.
And make sure to check us out online over on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Spotify, and YouTube. But if you want that full no bullshit experience and the ability to win prizes, you're going to have to subscribe to us over on Patreon. We'll talk about that here in a minute.
Today we got a pretty good beer. I'm enjoying this one. Why don't you tell them what we're drinking?
It is. Because it's the Sam Adams, and Sam Adams puts out nothing but outstanding beers.
Let's save one. But
oh, yeah, except for the Oktoberfest?
Right, not a fan. But anyway.
You're full of shit.
Anyway.
Today we're drinking the Sam Adams Cold Snap White Ale with spices. Again, brewed in Boston. Good old Massachusetts. Sam Adams is my personal favorite.
This is delicious.
It is.
Yeah.
Super yummy.
But anyway, let's jump right into it. Today is our 2018 year in review. We are going to go over some of our favorite moments of 2018, and we've each chosen a few of them, and I want you to start.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I want you to...
So, some of them we've talked about before, so if you've been following us, it might be kind of a repeat, but if you're, kind of new within the last, 5-10 episodes, then you probably haven't heard this one. Do you remember when we talked about beer, not the beer we drink, but we talked about a beer on air? It was a special kind of beer.
No.
It was a special kind of beer made with a special kind of fluid from a special kind of person.
Oh, yes, the vagina beer.
Yes, it was
God.
the vagina beer.
I could have gone my whole life without hearing about this again.
But you're going to hear it again. For those of you who have never heard, it's called the Order of Yanni, and they describe it as, imagine... Now, okay, let me take one step back. I think who writes for their website doesn't English is a second language to them because their writing skills. I will have to add a few words in to make it make sense. But imagine the woman of your dreams, your object of desire, her charm, her sensuality, her passion. Try how she tastes. Feel her smell, which I don't know how you feel a smell. It's like tasting the color 4. But okay. And hear her voice. Now imagining her giving you a passionate massage and gently whispering anything you'd like to her. But moving on, we at the Order of Yanni have a prepared technology making creation of such a unique beer possible. The beer containing quintessence of femininity. The technology enabling materializing her loveliness, gracefulness, and character, giving you the possibility of conversion of a tasty beer into a date with a real goddess.
Oh my! Are we done? Are we done with that now?
No, the bacteria.
Oh God!
Lactobacillus transfers woman's features, allure, grace, glamour, and her instincts into beers and other products, turning them into dance with lovely goddess. The terrible English, but it's fancy for saying they're going to swab her vagina and put her pussy juice in the beer that you drink. Now, I've had some nasty beers in my life, but there was never a point in my life where I would be like, hey, what's in that? Bartender, what's in that beer? Pussy juice. Let me have a pint.
Right.
No.
Yeah. What I do want to point out, and this is not on my list, but it is a 2018 thing that we can talk about. You said the company that makes it is the Order of Yanni.
Yanni, Y-O-N-I.
Oh, okay.
Yoni,
that made
Yanni,
me think of Yanni. Do you remember that whole thing where it's like, do you hear Yanni or do you hear Laurel? Do you remember that?
I remember it, but I never listened to. I don't think I ever listened to it to hear.
I listened to it once, and I was like, "This is the stupidest fucking thing ever." It's like that. Hey, is this dress blue and black or gold and white? You remember that thing?
No.
Man, what do you live under a rock?
Apparently.
All right.
How
well,
can you mistake the two colors? I don't understand.
Me neither. It was obviously gold and white.
Could you find anybody else who thought it was the other two colors?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, it was weird, and I think they're just fucking with you.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to my first favorite memory of 2018, which is the Tide Pod Challenge.
Oh God.
I loved and hated this because it made it very apparent who the actual retards in the world were.
Yeah.
And it kind of weeded some of them out.
I'm all for it.
Yeah. But I don't really have anything to say about it.
I'm all for some of these retards doing like the Russian roulette challenge too.
Oh my, that took a little bit of a turn.
I'm just
there.
saying, if you're dumb enough to eat liquid soap that goes into your laundry and try to devour it, you're just that fucking dumb.
Yeah.
So here, it's a 6-shooter and it's only got 5 rounds in it. Try to hit the one that doesn't have one in it. Come on.
But the Tide Pod Challenge, I think, did give birth to a couple great ideas because I don't know if the company is still in business, but I saw them on the TV show Shark Tank, where it was a supplement company and they were putting like protein powders and pre-workouts and little pods, and you just it is very portable that way. You know, you could just take that to the gym and then afterwards toss it in your shaker bottle, and that was pretty cool. And I don't know if they were inspired by people eating Tide Pods, but
yeah, it's not a terrible idea. I mean, I usually if I'm waiting, I'll just throw it in the shaker bottle dry and just add some water to it.
Yeah.
But,
yeah,
I don't know the viability of it. But it did introduce another challenge though.
Which is
the Kiki challenge.
That was my next moment.
Oh,
yeah.
I'll shut my mouth.
It was actually the In My Feelings challenge is what it was called, because that was the name of the song by Drake. And Ben, this, well, I don't know if people died doing this, as people definitely died doing the Tide Pod challenge.
Yeah.
But this was equally as retarded. It was just,
I think what people didn't understand is there was supposed to be somebody in the driver's seat driving while you climbed out of the passenger seat
right
to do it. But I think some people were just dumb enough to actually get fully out of their car.
I think regardless of if you are in the passenger seat or driver's seat, it is fucking stupid. And anyone who participated should really look on themselves with a bit of shame, because look back and realize what you did and how stupid it was.
Yeah. All the challenges are fucking stupid.
No, there's some good ones like the ice bucket challenge,
but
and all
because
that.
there was
it had a purpose.
It had a purpose to
Right.
it. The other ones have zero. Like, what did In My Feeling? What was the purpose of it?
To look like an idiot.
Yes, to make little hearts and ask Kiki if you love them and are you riding. It's retarded.
I
guess maybe the Tide Pod Challenge did have a purpose behind it.
Which is
Kill people who are stupid.
yeah.
Yeah, natural selection.
It's
baby.
Darwinism.
Darwinism.
Yeah.
I say we try to make that thing have a comeback.
Yeah.
And Tide Pod Challenge led into the revival of another challenge. Do you remember?
No.
It made a comeback because it had happened. It didn't make it very popular, and then it made a comeback. I think it was this year.
Well, Tide Pod Challenge was this year, so if it came back because of Tide Pod,
yeah.
What was it?
You know, the snorting the condom challenge.
Oh yeah, that's stupid.
Once again, though, I'm a firm believer that the guy who drank milk for the first time was a fucking weirdo. But the guy who tries to snort a condom through his nose into his mouth is not even weird. Is just stupid.
Well, I could never do it because I use Magnums for my monster dong.
Wink, wink.
To all the ladies listening.
Monsters come in all shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
Even little.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So my next one is another repeat that we talked about early on when we started the podcast this year. I don't know I'm going to try my best to describe it for the listeners, but for Terry here, I'm just going to show him the website, and it'll provide all the flashbacks that you need.
Okay. Oh, man. Why did you pick just the gayest and stupidest shit? It's male lingerie. Okay. You close it. We get. They can't see it.
You may if you're not a subscriber and you didn't listen to last week's ass. Terry made me look at transgender vaginas last week.
I did.
So if you're going to make me look at transgender vaginas, you're looking at dudes dressed with dongs. I'm not even calling it lingerie. I'm calling it dongerie.
But that was for science. You're just over here. I didn't even know you were looking at that. You're just browsing male lingerie while we're doing podcasts.
The raspberry Brazil panty for $18.90.
Oh, yeah, that's got a nice dong sock on it right there.
Does.
Yeah.
Oh, you can make out shape on that thing, too.
Yeah, that's porn.
Yeah.
Anyway, now that Brad has hopefully closed the male lingerie page.
Oh, man.
I just want to know what kind of men are buying this kind of stuff.
Exactly. Because I'm telling you, like, Christmas just happened, right? And if I opened a package and let's say my wife bought it for me.
Package.
But yeah, if I opened the box and it had like, it's literally like a bra and panties, but the panties have like a sock area for your dick.
Right.
If I opened that up, I would just been like, "You fucking kidding me?"
Yeah.
What? Oh, I thought it'd be hot for the bedroom.
No,
not happening.
No.
All right, you're next.
Okay, my next favorite moment of 2018 was when IHOP tried to turn their name into IHOB.
Yes.
Because the whole internet went on a rampage about the International House of Pancakes not making pancakes anymore, which, I mean, I don't eat at IHOP all the time, but that's kind of a slap in the face because it's the International House of Pancakes, and they wanted to make burgers, but apparently it was just some big... It was a ruse. It
was just publicity. But you know what? There's no such thing as bad publicity.
That's not
true. It got
true.
People, I don't know. All they want is people. How many people just talked about IHOP? That's all they want. They got their name.
For at least one day, everybody.
Everybody said the word IHOP. And then even if you hit 1% of 100 million people, that's still a million people. And I'm saying like 1% going, IHOP. Fucking pancakes sound good right now.
Yeah.
That's a million people that came to their store.
True.
And ate. That's all they want to do.
Yeah. Okay, that's all I got on the IHOP.
I think that one led into another one too, because later, I want to say a couple weeks later, it was Build-A-Bear did a promotional thing that was a blunder as well. You could build a bear for your age. Right, so you take your kid there, and most of these fucking Build-A-Bears are like $25, $30 for a damn bear. Right,
Mm-hmm.
You go in, you put the little heart in, you stuff it up and sew it up and give it a name.
You frequent Build-A-Bear workshops?
No, I don't. But I'm not. I haven't lived under a rock. I know what happens in there.
Oh,
duh.
Apparently, knowing what happens in a Build-A-Bear workshop means you don't live under a rock. But you've never seen the white and gold dress. Got it.
No, because it's the other two colors. That's why I've never seen it.
Okay.
But if you took your 4-year-old in there, they would get a bear for $4, which would be 80% off the price. So but apparently a lot of places did not have enough bears.
Yeah,
they heavily underestimated the turnout that was going to happen. So they had yet another publicity blunder.
The only time I've ever brought up that place was I was at the gym one time and I was deadlifting, and I picked something really fucking heavy up, and I picked it up and then I just dropped the weight. Right, I didn't gracefully put it down because there's no graceful way to put down like 450 pounds plus.
Yeah.
And the guy that worked there came up to me. He was like, "Can you not drop the weight?" And I looked at him and I said, "What is this? A fucking Build-A-Bear workshop or a gym? Get out of my face!" And then I went back to lifting.
And he went back to his desk.
He did.
Oh man!
All right.
So you're hitting very like keynotes of 2018.
Yeah.
And I'm hitting very specific things that have happened in 2018. So we talk a lot about gender roles. We've talked about that, and I think a lot of people. If you haven't noticed too, on the Facebook page, we did a poll, and we asked, do people want to hear about alpha beta male, arguments, or do they want to hear patriarchy, debunking and gender stuff? And it was almost 50-50.
Yeah, it was pretty even.
Pretty even, not bad. So that's why I bring this up. And this isn't 2018. I guess the article came out in 2017, but I didn't find it till 2018, so that it counts. But there was a study, and they claimed that describing breastfeeding as natural is unethical because it reinforces gender roles.
Yeah, you sent me that article, and I didn't even want to look at it. Like, I read that headline. Most of the things just piss me off.
I know.
So I look at the headline, I roll my eyes, and I move on with my life.
But it says, so is a article in this pediatrics journal, and it says, coupling nature with motherhood can inadvertently support biologically deterministic arguments about the roles of men and women in the family. For example, that women should be the primary caretaker, the study says. The study notes that in recent years, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the American Academy of Pediatrics, and the World Health Organization, several state departments of health, have all promoted breastfeeding over bottle feeding using the term natural. Newsflash, it is. What else is that milk for when a woman gives birth? What's it for? Exactly. That's literally what it's for, to feed your child. It is natural.
It sure is. I think we can put that to bed.
You don't like that article, do you?
No, it's fucking stupid, man.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's literally saying up is down and down is up. That one of the most natural things that has made humanity survive all the thousands of years, right? Cavemen didn't have formula. How did they feed their children? They breastfed their children, right? We've been doing this for thousands of years. Yep. That's how we've, as a humanity, have survived. And now we're saying, no. Don't call that natural. That reinforces gender roles, and we can't do that in 2019 and 2018.
It's fucking stupid.
The world is upside down.
I'm telling you, man. I am as the days go on, I come to terms that I just don't want to have kids, because I don't think that I could bring kids up in a world like this.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, I don't want to bring another person into this life and have to explain these things to them.
Oh yeah.
Or God forbid they come home from school and they're like, Dad, I want to be a girl, but I'm a boy. It's like, oh no, like I'd shoot myself. Yeah. Like I wouldn't be able to handle that. I can handle a lot of things, but that I draw the line there.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. My next moment of 2018, and this I proclaim the manliest moment of 2018 would be when Sean Roden won the Mr. Olympia, putting Phil Heath's 7 Olympia streak to bed. He did not tie Ronnie Coleman. So, what's that?
I was really happy that day.
Yeah.
Because he'd probably rip my head off and eat me, but I'm not a big fan of Phil Heath.
Me neither. If you watch him in interviews, I mean, he's a cocky guy. He is, but if you think about it, so was Arnold. Ronnie Coleman wasn't away. It's just these guys, they walk around as Mr. Olympia, and Phil Heath's been Mr. Olympia 7 years in a row. He has every right to be cocky about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it wasn't it was not rigged by the judges in any way to preserve Ronnie Coleman's 8-win streak. It was pretty obvious in my opinion.
Most would argue that some of Ronnie Coleman's last couple were given to him just because
for
his
sure,
name was Ronnie Coleman.
Especially that 8th one.
Yeah.
That 8th one was
it was rough.
Yeah. But anyway, that goes down as my manliest moment.
I'll be curious to see what happens this upcoming year because, like, I think it was Jay Cutler had a year in between winning a few.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see if he comes back because a lot of guys, once they've hit that level and then they lose, and then you'll watch them come back the next year and then they place fifth, and then they just kind of fall off and like retire.
Yeah.
So curious to see if Phil Heath goes back up and wins an eighth to tie, but Ronnie Coleman did it 8 in a row.
Right.
So at least you could say, well, Phil Heath got
I definitely
8 but not
think
in a row.
I think we'll see him again next year, but I don't think he's going to win. I don't. I think with Sean Roden's victory, I think Mr. Olympia is kind of backtracking back towards the physique style of bodybuilding as opposed to the giant freak beast that Phil Heath was and that Ronnie Coleman eventually became. It's kind of transitioning backwards into a physique-based competition where proportions and things like that matter. But I do have one more 2018 moment that I want to go over, and all the ones I've given have been kind of funny, comical, all this, but this is a serious one, and this one kind of puts a purpose to our podcast, and that is 2018 was the explosion of the metoo movement. Mm-hmm. And there were a lot of people, a lot of famous people, and a lot of even more people who no one knows that, I want to say, fell victim to the Me Too movement. It's not my place to say if somebody did or did not do something, but there were blatant attempts, in some cases, to destroy people's lives using this movement with little to no evidence. Mm-hmm. And it was a disgusting thing. I hope that an end gets put to it. I think that anybody who's a victim of sexual abuse or sexual assault, rape, any of that, should, if you're a victim, you should definitely get the help you deserve, and the perpetrator should definitely be put behind bars forever. But we can't make those judgments without substantial evidence.
And I think that's the key, is the evidence, and the way to have the evidence, you got to speak up immediately.
Yep.
Where I think the one that you're kind of alluding to had problems is bringing it up decades and decades later. And
I definitely I can't put myself in those shoes. I can't of somebody who was sexually assaulted or raped. But what I can say is I definitely can see how it would be very hard to come forward with it.
Yeah.
And I understand, as does literally everybody else in the world, that it'd be a difficult thing to come forward with it. But if you want something to happen, if you want the help that you need, you need to come forward with it. If you don't, then that's your choice to live with what happened without any repercussions happening to the person that did it.
Yep. All right.
That's all I got.
As we close out 2018 and get ready to roll into 2019, what does everybody start doing at the beginning of 2019, right?
They make resolutions. They'll do a variety of things in 2019.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everybody, I would say the majority of people will make a New Year's resolution to do something to better themselves. So I thought there's nothing better than to sit here in the man cave and go over the 10 worst New Year's resolutions and how to make them work. And by worst, when we read these, they're not necessarily the worst. It's the worst usually because people make them and they don't follow through with them.
Right.
So here's the man cave's take on how to get your fucking ass to follow through with these things. Because when you read these, man, if you did all 10 of these, you'd be a pretty good person.
Okay.
So let's start with the number one shitty New Year's resolution that people don't follow through with.
Going to the gym.
Absolutely. Joining a gym.
Yep.
So Terry, let's say I'm somebody who says, you know what, 2019's my year.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go to a gym.
Yep.
How do I get there? How do I stay going to the gym?
So here's exactly what I would say, and I have had this exact conversation with a lot of people. And this, what I'm about to say, will probably cover all 10 of the things that you're about to say. And it's simply this. It is not the movement of the clock that makes changes in your life. The fact that it's a new year has nothing to do with you being a new person. It all happens in your mind. You can choose at any moment to do the things that you want to do to make yourself better. The fact that that clock struck midnight in 2018, December 31st, and now it's 2019, has no impact on what you're able to do. So change your mind now. There's no reason to wait until a certain date, a certain time. People always say, oh, I'll start January 1st, or I'll start my diet next week, or all that. It's not the movement of the clock that determines what you're able to do. Change your mind, get your mind focused on what you need to do. That's where the change is, in your mind.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are going to run into a problem too when they're going to have an immediate burst of motivation to get to go into the gym, right?
Right.
But we've covered it before. We've put it on the Facebook page. I almost showed how old I was by calling it the face page.
Yeah.
Our Facebook page, right? But motivation, it's going to go away, right? If you've made, and for all of these, right? You're going to get motivated to do it. And we're going to go through 9 more.
Yep.
You're going to be motivated to do each and every one of them. But at some point, for some people, it's going to end up being quicker. Some people, they might have the motivation a little longer. But at some point, the motivation is going to go away.
Well, I want to say yes and no to that, because I feel there's 2 different types of motivation. You have a push and a pull, right? So a motivation where you have to push yourself to do something, that fades. You know, you'll push yourself, and that'll only last so long, your ability to push yourself towards something. But then there's another kind of motivation that will pull you towards something. And that motivation never goes away. That's embedded in you. That's in your DNA.
Hold on. I think I can explain your push-pull theory.
Okay.
Even simpler for people, right? When you're gonna wake up on January 1st. You're going to wake up really motivated to go to the gym. January 2nd, motivated. 3rd, motivated. 4th. There's going to be a day you're going to wake up and be like, I don't want to go.
Yep.
I don't want to fucking do this anymore. And you're going to be like, you know what? I'm just going to take the day off.
Yep.
Don't do it. And what you need to learn to give yourself is discipline.
Right.
The discipline side is that pulling. Like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I don't want to do this right now, but I have to do this
and
right now.
Those workouts where you don't want to go to the gym are the best workouts you'll ever have.
Yeah.
Yep.
So for all of these, get it in your head right now, right? You're going to be super motivated right at the beginning.
Yep.
But that motivation one day is going to fade. And that's why everybody breaks their New Year's resolutions, because they've lost the motivation to make it happen again and again and again.
Right.
They have not learned the discipline. And when you can figure out the discipline side, to discipline yourself to do it no matter how you feel, what kind of day you're having, that's when you've created a culture of doing it, a lifestyle of doing it. And that's where the real change is. The real change is not in the motivation piece.
100% agree.
So we can pretty much just read the next 9 and be done with it.
Yeah.
We could. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to read each one, and you can think about back to what we just talked about.
Yeah.
Both things that Terry and I said, and apply it. It's going to work every time. Number 2, what's the second most popular thing that people do other than go to a gym?
Go on a diet.
I swear to God, Terry did not read this before I started. Number
Yep.
2, literally word for word, go on a diet.
Yep.
It's not and it says it here. If you're going to go on a diet, you're setting yourself up for failure. It's not a diet.
Make a lifestyle change.
It's a lifestyle. You have consciously made the decision to eat differently.
Yep.
For your health, or you eat differently because when you start, instead of looking at your food as just something you're ingesting, when you start looking at food as fuel for number 1 of
Yep.
going to the gym, your whole aspect on eating changes.
Yeah.
Because you're going to look at the cookie. Now, don't get me wrong. I eat fucking cookies. And I'll tell you right now, I would say 95% of the time after I eat a cookie, I feel guilty as fuck.
I never
Really?
regret it. Never.
Oh,
But I mean, you know me, man. Like I can eat like garbage,
Yeah.
and I still pack the muscle on.
no,
So
I don't. I have the love handles when I eat like fattiness and sugary stuff. Like the sugary fatness goes straight to the hips.
Oh boy.
Once on the lips, forever on the hips.
That's because you're old.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, like the more sugar I cut out of my diet, the more my physique changes. But that's why I feel, like I said, I feel guilty when I eat that stuff. But because I look at that stuff not necessarily as a diet, I look at like, what did that cookie really do for me?
Yeah.
What nutrients did that cookie give me?
Yeah.
Nothing. I mean, it's calories, but not all calories are equal.
Right. And it's like we said, it's a lifestyle change, but I fail to understand why people wait until a certain date to make their lifestyle changes, because it won't work that way.
Nope. And then when they're on that diet, they're going to be, again, that first couple weeks on your diet, you're going to be super motivated to not eat shit.
Yep.
But then there's going to be that one day where life hits you hard and you're like, fuck it. You know what, today I'm gonna eat some cookies. I'm gonna slip back.
I'll have a cheat day.
It's a cheat, yeah, and they chalk it up to, The Rock does chalk it up to fucking cheat days.
Yeah,
doesn't feel guilty. Newsflash, you're not The Rock.
Right.
All right. So then a cheat day turns into maybe 2 cheat days, 3 cheat days, and then before you fucking know it, you've lost all motivation. The shit I've been eating doesn't taste good.
Yep,
man.
you're back you're back to the basement growing a neck beard.
Yeah.
That's
Yep. And then you're feeling like shit, and so when you feel like shit, you don't feel like waking up and going to the gym.
Right.
And it just started with one little cheat day. So you got to be disciplined with the food and all that. With all these New Year's resolutions.
I'm going to ask that you don't ask me any more of them on that list, because I don't think I'll be able to get them at this point.
You probably won't get number 3.
Okay.
But you can take a shot. It's probably on the list.
Don't be an asshole. Be nicer to people.
But it's further down the list. Number 3 is to spend more time with family and friends.
I think that's a noble thing. But,
it is yeah.
But I once again, why wait until January 1st?
Right? And then you're going to spend all that. I'm going to spend more time with my family and my friends. And you're going to do it for that first week. You're going to do all kinds of cool stuff, and then you're going to slip back in to the routine of life.
Yeah.
And then go right back to the way you were. It's a conscious decision to stay disciplined with doing those things every single day, thinking, tomorrow when I wake up, I'm going to do it too.
Yep.
All right. Number 4, get organized.
Ooh. See, now that's a tough one, man, because I definitely, with me, there are times I'll look around my house and I'll be like, shit, man, it's messy in here. And then I go into a cleaning frenzy, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's how a lot of people do things, but I don't, once again, I don't know why you have to put a date on it. Like, I'm gonna live in disarray until this date, and then I'm gonna fix it all.
Yeah,
along with going to the gym, eating right, and spending more time with my family.
I think that's the thing, is people will just say, I'll clean my house tomorrow. Or
right.
I'll clean, you know what? Nobody's coming over. I'll clean it next week. I'll get to it next week, and they just keep putting it off.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna clean. I'm gonna keep my house clean and organized.
Right.
And then they don't.
Right.
Just do it.
Yeah.
You gotta stay disciplined to do it.
How about that?
Oh, stop being stressed, which can be kind of lead into not being a dickhead.
Yeah.
But how do you not be stressed? What are the ways you manage stress? I don't know. Probably that number 1 that we talked about is a really good way.
It is a good stress reliever, but there are definitely stressors that can impact you that the gym can't handle.
Yeah.
Like the gym is a certain kind of therapy, but there are definitely stressors in life that we run into that can't be handled that way. And
alcohol.
What about
alcohol? Will handle your stress for you.
That's how I handle it. Yeah.
Yeah. Just take the old handle of Jack and tip it back. Wash your cares away.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Now, this one, they talk about massage, meditation, breathing exercises, yoga, martial arts, music, or just straight up talking to a professional counselor or therapist.
I don't think there's anything wrong with talking to somebody if you have to.
No, not at all. I think it's good. I think it's good for people to vent.
Yeah, just be skeptical of any professionals that immediately want to put you on a drug.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of things in life, man, if you just have that person or you can just vent to and just kind of let it off your chest a little bit, and then you're done.
I think the quickest way to de-stress yourself is, and the issue that I see with people who are extremely stressed is their daily routine. They wake up, go to work, come home, go to sleep, wake up, go to work, come home, go to sleep. And it's like you have no outlet. You have nothing that you're doing other than going to a job that you probably don't like and coming home, going to sleep to do it all over again.
Coming home to a house that's in disarray that you don't like coming home to.
Right. Find a hobby, go shooting, go out, go to the beach, go do something, it's you have to fill the points in your life where you're not at a stressful environment with things that are fun that you would enjoy, and you'll see your stress level go down.
Fucking start a podcast talking about manly shit.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. We don't want competition.
Start a podcast talking about how much you agree with feminist theory. We'll really enjoy that one.
Yeah, we'll make a lot of fun lots of fun with you. Number 6 is to stop smoking and drinking. That's a heavy one, man.
Yeah.
That's a heavy one, especially we'll switch to the serious mode.
So I don't think it's tough, man, because both of them are drugs.
Yeah, and I've never smoked.
So I used to smoke. I quit smoking by dipping, and now I just dip. So, but nobody ever really quits. I still smoke when I drink. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's a tough one.
So I'll say I've had family members on my wife's side of the family that have quit smoking.
Yeah.
So
one of my best friends just quit smoking recently, and he looks and feels better. He does.
Yeah.
But man, what a test of your willpower.
Yeah.
Because I remember the moment where I first tried tobacco. I dipped before I smoked. I quit dipping by smoking, and then I quit smoking by dipping. Right? Vicious cycle. But I remember I picked up a can of dip, and my thought was, who gets addicted to this shit? What's addiction? Watch. I can beat addiction. I'm stronger than that. Here I am, years later. I got dip in my mouth right now.
Yeah, you do. Oh, I remember the first time I smoked. I got high as a motherfucker off that cigarette.
Well, that's what it is, man. Everybody's just chasing that first one.
Oh,
it'll never feel that good again.
No,
you're just chasing it.
I didn't know. I was like, what did I do? It's just a cigarette.
Yeah.
I had to lay down.
Yeah.
I laid down with both feet on the floor because the room was just going a million miles an hour.
Yeah, that first cigarette it'll put you on your ass.
Yeah. Number 7 is to get your finances in order.
That's a good one, but it's definitely not something that I would wait on.
No, no. 2018 wasn't the year to do it. 2019.
Fuck, man, it's August. My finances are all fucked up. I'll fix it in 2019. Like, hell no, man. Take care of that now, please.
Yeah, there's a lot of avenues out there. Like, we're not financial specialists or anything like that, but holy shit, yeah, get your money in order.
Set
man.
a budget for yourself. Like,
seek actual professional help, because if you can't seek a budget, or maybe you put a budget together and realize that like you literally can't afford the shit you have.
Yeah.
Like holy shit, teach your kids, man. Like that's some scary shit right there. Like you need to teach your kids how to manage their money properly.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to say that like I blame my parents, but thankfully I've always, since the day I moved out of the house at 18, that I've always had a job. And it's always been pretty steady, so I've always had steady income, and I've been able to manage my finances pretty well. To be, I've never been in massive debt, or I've always had, a roof over the head and stuff like that. But you have to pass that on, because if you're not willing to teach your kids, they're just gonna.
Oh yeah.
There's so many ways out there that they can just spend their money frivolously and get into terrible amounts of debt and end up fucking themselves for life.
100%.
Yeah. Start early. Number 8, people want to change their job or career.
It's a risky one.
Very, very, especially if you're going to do a big career move.
But I'm a big believer in, if you're in a job that you hate and you have a dream, to follow that dream. I don't think that you should leave a job that you hate to go to another job that you might hate also. If you're going to leave your current job, this is just my opinion. Someone may have a solid plan that goes against this, but if you're going to leave your current job, definitely do it to get a job that you absolutely know you're going to love, or to chase your dreams.
Yeah. All right. Wrapping up the last two. Number 9 is to travel. I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to do number 9, you better fucking do number 7. You better get your finances in order. But you're not traveling anywhere but to the kitchen and to the bedroom.
Yeah.
So, and then number 10, volunteer. I volunteer some.
Yeah.
It feels good. People should volunteer. But like they said, people want to procrastinate on it. They, I'll wait next month to do this or that. Like, just fucking go do it.
Yeah.
Guarantee there's a shelter somewhere that wants you to serve meals or do something like that. I volunteer at my son's in Boy Scouts, so I volunteer all the time with him, going on camping trips and places like that. So it feels good.
But here's what I'm going to say to wrap up the resolution piece, which we're going to talk more about next episode. We're gonna really go deep into one of these specifically. But today is December 29th.
Mm-hmm.
It is 3 days until January 1st. Start now.
Oh, I thought you were gonna ask me what mine was.
No.
Yeah.
So,
why wait?
Yeah. So start right now.
You can go to the gym and already get 3 workouts in, 3 days worth of working out in before the new year even starts.
Yeah, and that gym is, who's going to be there right now? The people who consistently go.
Yeah, and those are the people you want to take a peek at, like the exercises they're doing.
Yep. But we're going to talk about that in depth.
Yes.
and some of the things.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, some of the things that you're going to see when you go to the gym around resolution time. But
and how to act in the gym.
Right.
All right. So, hey, as we head out, don't forget to follow us over on Facebook, the official Man Cave Podcast, on Twitter at the Man Cave 14, over on Instagram at the Man Cave Podcast, and on YouTube. But for that full, no safe space, no bullshit experience, check us out and subscribe to us over on Patreon for only $1. You're going to enter win that Beer of the Month Club. It's a 12-pack every month for 3 months, valued at $120. And for $5 a month, you're going to not only get entered in the winner of the prizes, you're going to get in exclusive access for special podcast episodes, exclusive access to tell us what you want to talk about, and give us feedback on topics from every podcast. Before we head out, I'd like to thank our patrons.
Thank you to Lance, Rachel, Zach with a K, Zach with an H, Mark, Curtis, Martin, Jeremy, and Rudamac. Thank you guys very much. We couldn't do this without you, and we really appreciate your support.
But hey, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay with us. We'll see you next time here in the Man Cave.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Any real man would follow us on Patreon for exclusive content and prizes at patreon.com/The Man Cave Podcast. The Man Cave. No safe spaces, no bullshit.